So forget this season for the next 5 minutes, I'm talking about next season, and I think with these 3 signings, United will have a squad that will enable them to win the league. So who are these 3 players? Well, first I'm going to tell you the positions and the roles, and you can pause the video and put your 3 players in the comment section below and then come back to the video. So the 3 positions that I think will need to improve next season will be number 1, the deep single pivot in midfield, yes, even with the signing of Agate, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Number 2, a left back, fairly obvious because Luke Shaw and Malacia for at least 3/4 of the season seem to not even exist, and also an elite level left winger because I do want to sell Rashford if he isn't world class this season, because I ain't waiting about like we did with Martial. If he isn't at that level by the end of this season, then United have to upgrade. So who do I suggest for these 3 positions? So pause the video, put your comments, ready. So for the deep single pivot, I would go for Adam Wharton all day long. And I'm not being funny, but this guy alongside Mainu and Bellingham has to be the starting midfield for England for the rest of the decade. At left back, I'd go for Theo Hernandez. Theo should be gettable from AC Milan for around 40 to 50 million pounds, I'd anticipate. But if he wasn't a viable option, then give me Anthony Robinson from Fulham. And at left wing, I'd go for Alexander Isak, but if he's too expensive, I'd go for Karu Matoma. So why these 3 players? Well, first of all, who are they replacing? Well, Shaw and Rashford, obviously. Malacia might as well go as well. But Casemiro, I'm sure by next season his legs are going to go. Last season I thought he was gone. Somehow he looks back to his best. But I can see another decline coming soon. And even if he has a good season this year, realistically United do need to be shipping off ageing, high salary players when teams actually want them. Not waiting till they are practically retired and then trying to flog them to the Saudis. So why these players specifically? Well, I'm going to come on to that in just a bit, but before that, if you want to check out the new season jerseys, go over to Jersey FIFA. They've got the club and international retro jerseys as well. If you use code Atlantis at checkout, you'll get a discount. A link will be in my Instagram bio, which I will leave linked in the description. So we'll start with Wharton because he's English, and obviously when it comes home in 2026 he's going to be a starter. But in terms of United with Agate and Casemiro, I do have the sense that come the end of the season, we are going to be saying yes, they are fantastic ball winners, specifically Agate, but do they have the ability to drop to the edge of the box in the build-up phase and play out of pressure like it's a 5-a-side game? And in the middle third, can they split the opposition's midfield line and work the ball into players between the lines? Adam Wharton not only has the ability to do this in both areas, but what I really like about him is his technique. Now why is this? Well, if you look at Sergio Busquets, in my opinion the best deep single pivot of all time, the magic is in his technique, specifically his ability to disguise a pass, looking like he wants to play one way, unbalancing the opposition player, and then at the last moment changing the angle of his pass and threading it through the midfield line. And whilst Agate and Casemiro can do this, I just don't think they can do it to Wharton's level. And I think this is why Liverpool wanted Zubimendi, because of this very trait. But for me, Wharton overall is a level above Zubimendi, even at this point in time, forget potential. Even someone like Frankie de Jong, I don't think he's as good a progressive passer as Wharton. De Jong is the ideal press resistant and ball carrying midfielder of course, but as a single pivot, at the base of the midfield, I would prefer Adam Wharton. I just think his high volume defensive output gives him the edge over even one of the best central midfielders in the world like Frankie de Jong, specifically in that deep single pivot role. As for the left wing position, I think United need a left winger who is elite when it comes to ball carrying, dribbling 1v1, as well as getting into goal scoring positions and scoring. Rashford, even at his best, only fulfills one of those, and that's the goal scoring part, and even then he is very inconsistent with his finishing. Alexander Isak to me is what Rashford should be, an elite level dribbler who is essentially a left-sided forward, but can also aid his team in terms of ball progression and link play in the middle third, as well as at least picking up 15 Premier League goals each season, pushing into the 20s. But he might cost over £100 million next summer, so as an alternative, Matoma ticks most of those boxes as well. He's more of a winger than Isak, but he is a 1v1 isolationist specialist, and if you want me to break down the importance of this, which is why Pep is now using Doku and Savinho on the flanks, then let me know and I'll put out a video on that. At left back, even if you were to keep Rashford, I still think you need someone who can run, and I mean run like a 400-metre runner on the overlap. Theo Hernandez for me is the best left back in the world, to the point where he's so unique from an attacking point of view that he kind of resembles what Gareth Bale would have been if he had developed as a left back and not an attacker. But if not Theo, Anthony Robinson is the sort of athletic left back that I think United need. He'd be a bit cheaper and he's also Premier League proven. So I know this video is short, but let me know in the comments what you want me to expound on from this video, and I'll do a separate video on that in terms of the specific players and also the tactical setup, and I'll try to get that video out soon.